Hello, IGN. Otero here with Meghan Sullivan.
Hello again, guys.
And we are playing Xenoblade X, Xenoblade Cross, better known in the States as Xenoblade Chronicles X, which is coming out sometime in 2015. We don't quite know. This is definitely a game that you're going to see a lot more about, probably at E3, but we have been fortunate enough to obtain a copy because the lucky folks in Japan have gotten it already.
I know. I'm so jealous of them.
As always. So we had a Let's Play prior to this where we sort of went through the opening cutscene. This is, in fact, when we crash land on Mira. We're sort of our main character, which we created. You sort of make a user-generated character, and you wake up in a pod. And you are being awoken right now. So as the quick backstory, so what has happened to Earth?
So basically, two alien races had a huge battle over Earth. Earth got destroyed. And humanity somehow managed to escape on a huge ship called the White Whale before the Earth blew up. And now they have been going through Earth for a year or two, and the aliens caught up with them. And now they've crash landed on this planet called Mira.
Yep. Yeah, and what's fascinating or cool about Xenoblade Chronicles X, or the Xenoblade series, is just sort of the open sort of nature of them, open world adventure aspect of it, as it were. And so we've just awoken. And as she said, we have crash landed on Mira. So this is sort of your first taste of combat. This is essentially the opening tutorial. And I mean, look at these graphics. Like, check this out.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, where the original Xenoblade running on Wii hardware, definitely, you know, the limitations of the time showed on it, regardless of how ambitious it was. Of course, you can say to some degree the same applies to Wii U, but being better hardware, like, you really do see some really great vistas, some really open shots that are really impressive. I will say, though, I am not blown away by the character design in this game.
It's, you know, the thing with all of the Xeno games, basically, I've never been a huge fan of their character designs. I mean, it's just not the best. But having said that, I mean, some of the details on, like, their outfits and stuff is actually pretty cool. So
absolutely. So we are going to name our character here Meghan. So we said we're going to go with Mose.
Yep, Meghan and Jose. Mose, there you go.
Yes. So Mose is going out there into the world.
She's going to mosey on out to Mira.
Mosey. Yeah, no, it's interesting, yeah, because even going as far back as like Xenosaga, I felt like character design was also really strange in those games. Although Cosmos was probably where they paid the most attention. Like, that was actually
you can definitely tell that that was their focus.
Yeah, and so there are sort of like Mass Effect style interludes where characters will turn to you and you'll have a range of responses. Just putting that out there for folks. There is sort of that, so it does. I don't believe it impacts the story on the same scale as it does in Mass Effect. Like, that story-driven aspect is very ingrained into how it affects how the story unfolds in Mass Effect. That doesn't seem to be the case here, but regardless, it's an option. It's something that you should know about.
And I wonder if maybe it affects like how people feel about you. So like, you know, if you fight with people or talk with people enough, like, their affection for you will go up, and they'll be more effective in battle, and they'll give you more things or offer you more things. So.
So the first opening sort of sections unfold with these sort of interludes, almost like an episodic nature. We've just met Elma, or at least her Japanese name so far is Elma. They may change it in the States, we're not sure. And just like Xenoblade, when you explore, you discover landmarks. So that happens a lot. Now, I will say sprinting is something that you can do really easily. It's just clicking in the left stick. And when you sprint, you can leap quite a bit. That's something that initially caught a lot of our editors off guard, where people were like, man, these characters can jump.
Man, Mose should go into the Olympics.
Yes, absolutely. Long jump all the way. All right, and so we are going to get our first taste of how looting treasure works right here. And all of this is told via how you would expect in sort of a JRPG, right? Sort of just heavy story, you know, just kind of setting up some simple things. I will say it, even to some degree later, it gets a bit too chatty because you have a lot of meetings where, you know, the organization like Blade is introduced, which is a major part of the story and whatnot. And they just spend a lot of time going over it.
So the beginning is very heavy with story exposition.
Absolutely. You can skip them, so we're going to skip around just to kind of give you the gameplay portion of it. And we're in our first battle, so let's do that. So you target with the R shoulder button. You press A to start.
And normally, normal attacks are just done automatically, right?
Yes, yes. You are attacking normally the entire time, these side sort of nodes on this excuse me, on this
on the bottom
strip.
of the screen there.
Yes,
Those are your
absolutely.
arts, correct?
Yeah, these are your arts. There are different types. So orange, I believe, is melee. Yellow, I believe, is ranged arts. And they grow as you level and as your character progresses. It all unfolds really fast, and it's something definitely to mention to folks, is that you definitely want to pay attention. I mean, when this is out in English, it'll be enough to keep up with. And it's very similar to the system that's already in place in Xenoblade Chronicles, which you can get right now on 3DS, new 3DS if you're interested, or play it on Wii.
I like that whole arts feature carried over into this game.
Absolutely. And we got a gun for that, so that's cool. We'll check that out in a little bit. Let's go over here and actually loot. So the looting system is interesting because you're basically mashing a button to get it out. Give me the treasure. All right, so we've got it here.
Now, if I understand this correctly, for some of these treasure boxes and for some things, you actually need a higher skill level.
Yes, this is true. Yeah, so each one that you're opening up, we're going to pick on the bugs because they're small. All right, so you saw highlighting was a yellow art, a ranged art. If I perform that art in time with when she wants to, that's the soul voice system at play, and you'll notice we're getting health regenerated for doing that.
Oh, yeah.
So that I've seen, there aren't many ways to regain health early on. And so what you will do is pay attention to those soul voices and then quickly follow through. And we've leveled both inner and our class. There is sort of a class-based system at play as well. Just like Xenoblade, you're also picking up sort of random loot left around the world. Let's see, what else should we fight? We're still pretty early on, but let's kill. Oh, and we got a new art. And we can level up these arts, very similar to the way you did in the last game. You can choose between a knife or a gun. We've got our knife as well. I usually wait for them to give me a command that they want to go for with soul voice. Like right now, see the pulsing on the bottom bar?
Right.
And that melee attack is really nice because it can stagger an enemy. When it staggers them and they fall and they crumple, they fall down. You actually get additional damage bonuses. So that's really cool.
And there's also a feature that I guess you can't quite do yet, but it's the catch feature, which
Yes.
is you can actually catch an enemy in sort of I don't know how to call it, a force field.
Yep.
And you can attack them for like 10 seconds and they can't fight back.
Very handy when you have a skull, I will say. One of the handiest, coolest attacks you should probably go for. Yeah, they do go for, though. I do appreciate the style of combat, though. Like, my first sort of encounter with this style of combat was Final Fantasy XII, but a lot of it felt inspired by, like, just MMO culture or MMOs in general. You know, sort of the, hey, you have a standard attack that is constantly rolling and happening, and then you can also choose to use an ability, and that ability has a recast time. So every time we use our arts, you notice we have to wait for it to sort of be ready again to be used.
Right, and what's interesting is that, I mean, there's single-player story, of course, but there's also multiplayer that opens up later on, and you can do things like, you know, you can take on like raid bosses and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Which is pretty cool. So there is that MMO aspect to this game.
Yeah, for sure. So let's wear him down a little bit. I'm kind of waiting for a command here. If not, I'm just going to go. Yep, she's still not. There we go. Alright, so Soul Voice, he's crumpled. Follow up with a good attack, and he's down, and we had a class rank up. Alright, let's look at some of the gear we got so far. So, for Mose. Alright, so there's a new gun. 2 new guns, in fact, and you can see them just by rotating.
That's a big gun.
Yes. Alright, so I think we have enough skills to... No, we're not ready to use these yet. So they're both highlighted funky. Let's see, we have... Oh, we have one more thing. We have a new outfit, but we may also... Oh, we were able to use it. Cool. Let's see what else. Anything for our arms? I like, too, that the armor is actually individual, so you get a left or a right, so you get, like, a cool look there if you're into that. Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to use these soon, these other weapons. And all of that loot. We also get equipment for Elma, but I didn't bother checking. Let's go see what this yellow thing is over here. What's cool, too, in the starting area is that none of these enemies aggro particularly much, thank goodness. Because when you actually get to open Mira, whoo, Let me tell you, there is some
There's
careful.
some angry monsters out there.
Oh yeah, there are some seriously aggro monsters ready to get you. Let's enter one more battle and go ahead through with the story portion. Alright, so we got a perfect there.
And if you're not careful, enemies can actually gang up on you, right? Like they can basically ambush you if you're not paying attention.
Yes, if you're not paying attention and you sort of attack an aggro enemy too close to another enemy, you are going to get yourself in a lot of trouble. Actually, I accidentally aggroed one of the larger enemies who was super passive. Not this round, but when I was playing this at home. And I will say, oh man, was that nuts. Right,
I'm digging the battle music.
Yes, yeah, no, battle theme's really cool. Town theme, really strange, but we'll definitely get to that. And he's out. Alright, so let's run ahead here. Swim.
Oh, I like
that.
Look
at that, swimming. Really quick. Oh, there's something there. Let's go grab it. Yeah, there's a lot of parts. If you're familiar with Xenoblade, the prior Xenoblade game, you should know that there is a lot to do with these open spaces, which is what's really cool. And specifically with this game, a lot of it hinges on exploring Mira and sort of activating these nodes that tell you more about the planet. Now these guys aggro. That's why you see the eye right there. So we're going to pick a fight anyway, because if not, they're gonna see us.
And those different symbols mean different things, right?
Yep,
like
absolutely.
Some enemies can see really well.
Yep.
Some can hear really well.
Some can hear really well instead. Absolutely. Let's see if she calls for another attack. I think we're fighting two here. There we go. Another soul voice. Yeah, you want to be really, really aware. Sometimes I feel like I'm watching the bar more than I'm watching the actual like battle that's unfolding. And we should get our first enemy, our first like boss-like enemy.
Whoa,
up here.
that was
yeah,
creepy.
They do stop you. It's like, nope, you're not going any further because this is a story beat. You have to see this. I'm going to skip it for the sake of time. So sorry.
Time, and we don't want to spoil everything too much.
Yeah. But look, there it is.
Oh my goodness, the white whale.
Yes, and we have crash landed on Mira, and this is the setup. Also, this is when you really get to see the big wide open vistas, the big wide open shots. Makes you wonder if she's asking, why are you blue? Humans aren't blue. Yep, there we go. So these bunkers here, you see that sort of little...
Yeah, I saw the little symbol
over there. Yeah, so they have a bunker next to those that you can use to advance time to the time of day. So you can jump ahead 5 hours. You could instead keep it in the morning.
And I assume that there is an advantage to doing that.
Yes, yeah. It's definitely very advantageous because some quests in the original Xenoblade only happen at night, some only happen in the day. And look at this. This is just wide open.
That's really impressive.
Yeah. Very, very large open space to explore.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Like, I want to go, like, explore right now.
Yes. All right, so here, check out this bunker over here. This is where we can initially change the time of day, what time change you want to go for. We're not going to manipulate time for the sake, but let's look over here really quickly.
But I love the return of, like, different monsters appearing at different times of day and different kinds of weather. I mean, that's very much what happened in the prior Xenoblade, so it's cool that that's returned. And
yes,
big giant dinosaurs in the back, way in the background.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yes, no, it's really cool. You can definitely see a lot of attention to detail. Just really cool open world space. Definitely something that New Zelda is going for as well. Just sort of an open, like a truly open world. But Xenoblade.
I'm so excited for the new Zelda.
Yes, New Zelda's gonna be cool. But Xenoblade is definitely going to be the first game this year that you're going to have on Wii U that's going to be tackling sort of the concept. And
this is the actual reason I'm getting a Wii U finally, is to play this game and Zelda.
Absolutely, yeah. No, those are two really good reasons. All right, folks, and we have only just begun to explore the world of Mira. So if you want to keep up with us, make sure you come back for all your Nintendo and Xenoblade Cross coverage right here on IGN.